about yourself. Who is everybody? Who are you looking at?
So my name is Matthew Turner. Jeremy and I are business partners, and this is my wife, Sarah.
That's awesome.
And we're the 3 founders of Cards for Cubs.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So Cards for Cubs, you've been doing it for a little bit over 2 years, right? 2 years?
Yeah, a little over 2 years.
A little over 2 years. That's awesome. And tell me a little bit how that came to be. Like, how did the idea happen? What was the deciding factor in making this all work?
Right, of course. So it was really about the people, right? It was really because of all of you guys that were involved in it. You know, when Matthew and I started Barely Art, we were looking and we're seeing all of the generosity that was involved. We saw a ton of different of ways that people wanted to give back. And so we kind of came around and thought about it a little bit and figured that a card drive would be something that's very significant and that could be impactful and meaningful for people. And it fit really well with our current audience and the customers that actually already liked our stuff. And it was never supposed to be, you know, something for the business side. It was to channel, you know, this creativity, this energy. And it was just kind of the birthplace of that point.
You know, we were trying to think of a way we could do something to invite our audience to collaborate and do something meaningful. So Jeremy had the idea for the card drive, and my wife was really the one that gave us the inspiration to make it specifically for foster kids.
I was working at a foster care agency as a case manager for children in foster care and supporting foster families, which is a whole community in and of itself. And when we all went into lockdown during the pandemic, it was hard for everybody, but also I was particularly faced with families that were now stuck at home, kids stuck at home, you know, being creative and things for them to do and to participate in the family, something to brighten kids' days. I remember getting mail as a kid and loving it, and it just kind of fit with what you guys were already doing. And so yeah, that's kind of how it all came to mesh.
Yeah, so because of Sarah's background in social work, it really gave us the inspiration to contribute to a very specific cause. So that's how this all started, and we just put the call to action out for our audience, and you guys responded. And really the only reason that we're here today and officially a nonprofit is because so many people contributed to this, and we wanted to remain faithful to letting it become whatever, you know, as much as everyone wants to contribute to support foster kids.
Welcome to the last CFC Live of the season.
We're closing it out.
We are closing it out. So first off, just thank you everybody for participating, for watching our lives, for engaging on social media. We very much appreciate it. I know a lot of card makers have come from different places, whether it is from being an active Barely Art watcher or a friend of somebody working in a community, nursing home or churches or schools, wherever the cards are coming from, CMSS, all these places. So wherever you heard about Cards for Cubs, thank you so much for, you know, taking that little leap and joining us. We are going to be making our last card for this season because March 31st is this coming Monday.
Yes.
Which is the end of the card drive.
Official deadline of the card drive. Now, a lot of questions that we usually get are kind of surrounding like postmark dates and things like that. Like, does it have to be here on the 31st? I mean, we prefer that it's here on Monday, but if it's not,
we'll still accept your cards.
Don't-
Up to a point.
Yeah, I'd say like don't like try and
don't
overnight
delay.
it. You don't have to
Yeah,
overnight it today
yeah.
or anything. We will accept your card on April,
Yes.
in April 1st, April 2nd. Yes, we're not gonna be like, take them away. No,
Yeah,
well,
we're not
we're
going to
still gonna
reject
keep
them.
this.
We're
Yeah.
still going to have them. But to be able to, the way that we say it is to be able to be in the official count of everything, we need them by a certain date. Because we're about to have a bunch of volunteers come and sort through all of them. And then after at that point, we're kind of storing them until next year at that point. Yeah.
Yeah, so we want to make sure we get them because all volunteer based, as you guys know. In case this is the first time you're joining us and you are wondering what we're talking about, we are on the Barely Art social medias, but we are representing Cards for Cubs today.
Mhm.
So Cards for Cubs is a nonprofit that sends handmade cards to kids and young adults in foster care.
Mhm.
So that's what the entirety of March, every live that you guys have seen, or if you go on our YouTube and check out our past lives this month, have been about Cards for Cubs. We're making cards, we're talking about the guidelines and all things card drive. And then next month in April, we're working with our local university, UTA, to be sorting those cards, and that way we can bundle them into boxes and send them to foster agencies across the nation.
Yes. There's a lot of good steps to help finish it off. Your work might be done, but ours is now beginning.
Continuing, yes. Never stops.
Exactly.
That
Yeah.
is
So
good.
we'll have a lot of different things and things available for you guys to check out. Obviously, on our website, cardsforcubs.org, we'll be updating everything as we go along. I think you have some stats for us, though.
I do have some stats for you guys. So, if you guys don't know, or maybe you already do, our goal every year is to get 100,000 handmade cards,
Yes.
so you can send it to just everyone.
Just
everyone
everyone.
that goes into the foster care system will be able to have that a handmade card, something to
Mhm.
kind of bring them a little joy, hopefully in a harder time.
Yes. Yes.
And so every year that is our goal, 100,000 cards. And this year pledged, and you can see it on the CFC website, but we have 91,600 cards
Woohoo!
pledged. Yes.
Yes.
So that's a lot of cards.
It's a
We
lot
are
of cards.
right there at
We're
the
very,
100,000.
very close.
Mhm.
Very, very close. And, with that, those are just the pledged ones, like not
Yes.
necessarily the ones that have been received yet or we will receive.
Right.
So,
Because some people pledge less and bring more. We
Yes.
actually had a couple of people, I believe her name was Louisa, in the area, and she brought over 1,000 cards that her and her group made. But she said that she made most of them.
Yes.
Not to take credit, but she was like, "Yeah, I made a lot of these." So thank you, Louisa, and everyone else who participated. We've received over 48,000 cards so far, so
Mhm.
that number is still continuing
yes,
to climb.
it's climbing and to be determined. So 48,000 is what we got so far.
Mhm.
And then I just checked, there's a whole pile of them back there. So there's a
Yay.
lot more cards that just haven't been counted yet. We're getting to it very slowly, but we're getting there one at a time. So
Yes.
we'll be there soon.
Absolutely. And the other thing I wanted to mention was if you sent your cards in and you were wondering if we received them, because we do get customer support getting all those questions, don't worry. Hold on till the end of April. At the end of April, we'll be sending out an email to everyone
Mhm.
of the cards that we received. We wish we could do it all at once, but we don't really have the system to do that. So we'll have to, when we check them in after our volunteer
Mhm.
event of
Yeah.
sorting the cards, we will send out a big email blast and say, thank you so much. We received your cards, and then you'll know.
Yes.
But they pretty much all get here. I don't think we've had
Yeah.
any trouble in the past.
And things like that.
Oh,
At
yeah.
this point, they do make their way over here for the most part, as
Yeah.
long as the address is correct.
Yes, and
that we're
you'll
aware
see
of.
that address on the donation
Mhm,
form for when
yes.
you register your cards. You go to cardsforcubs.org, and then I believe it's the card drive, drop down, and card register. Once you registered your cards, you'll get a donation form, and it tells you, it has like some of your information, a QR code for our volunteers to use to check in your cards once they arrive here, and it also has the Cards for Cubs headquarters address, so what you'll be sending it
Yes.
to.
And that address will most likely be changing for next year, just a heads up.
That's
so
true.
when it comes to the donation form, make sure you're sending it to whatever the donations form says before you send it.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yes, very true. Alrighty, and I think that is the main points. Do you want to go with the guidelines right now?
Sure, might as well.
Alright.
Yeah, so just as a fresh reminder of the guidelines for sending in your cards, they have to be, and we didn't practice this, so let's see if we got this, handmade.
Yes.
Birthday and encouragement, bundled in packs of 10,
Mhm.
paired with cards, or paired with envelopes,
Yes.
and have a short sentiment inside.
Yay,
No.
you did
Or
it!
blank.
Or
Blank or
blank.
short sentiment.
Yeah,
inside,
I think we get a lot of questions about that.
Mhm.
In fact, a few people have come in and dropped their cards off physically because they are just like down the street and in the area. And that is one of the common questions. It says, like, they ask, what does it mean by blank or short? 'Cause I left it blank just in case I
Yeah.
wasn't sure.
Mhm.
Short sentiment being something very like happy birthday on the inside, or you're wonderful,
Mhm,
or
yeah.
like this card that we're gonna have, it actually comes with a sentiment that says, I hope all your wishes crumb true, because it's a birthday cake. So
Because it's a pun card.
it's a little punny. So that's what we mean when we say short, or just leave it blank on the inside, because the social workers will be filling out the cards themselves. So we
Yes.
just don't want to fill anything out.
Mhm.
And as always, don't put any contact information. Remember, these are
Yes.
going to kids, and they don't need to reach out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, we also get little things like on the back of it, if you have a little stamp and things like that. As long as it's like handmade by Lisa or something like that,
Yeah.
that's perfectly fine. But if it says something along the lines of like, here's my website or my address or whatever, that
Mhm.
kind of information, just leave that part off. It can be as simple as like, this is the city and state I'm from. That's perfectly
Mhm.
fine. Not specific address or specific contact or email or website that they can find you through.
Yeah. We don't get a lot of those, but just some
We just
people
mention
ask,
it just
so
in
we're
case.
just throwing it out
yes.
there.
Mhm.
Alrighty, so this is the card we'll be making. We can go ahead and jump to our project. It is called the Wish Crumb True card. Got a little cake
course.
here.
The wish crumb true.
Yes, and it has a little candle. This one's a number 1, but I thought it kind of looked like a regular candle that was melting, so I used the number 1. But the file comes with like 0 through 9, so you can make whatever number you would want if you're using it for yourself. If you're sending it in for donation, I suggest maybe just the 1.
Yes. How cool would it be if we only did 0 through 8?
0 through 8, so just miss the
It's
9.
like 0 through 9. It's like, oh yeah, missing the 9.
Just miss the 9.
For everyone in their 90s and 29s and 39s and 19s and all
Yes.
those, yes.
No 9s.
No 9s.
Let's see. We are. Let me think. I'm trying to think. This is just a pretty simple card. This file comes with the side or the cut of the card itself, so it's this big piece here. And then so you can change the color if you'd like, but it is a horizontal card, and we can just jump right in. There's nothing crazy about it. Let me just go into the comments to check to make sure everything is good.
Yes, indeed.
Let's see. Ellie's Crafty Creations ask, every year it's the same thing, right? Handmade, birthday, etc. Yes, those are it's birthday or encouragement cards. So right now we're making a birthday card, but an encouragement card could look something like you are unique, like a unicorn, and it'd be like a unicorn card with glitter and things like that. But pretty much the same rules every year. We haven't changed it for a while. So those things that we did, those guidelines, you can start making your cards for next year if you would like.
Yeah. And the main thing that we try to not do that's common is holiday cards. So we prefer no holiday cards only because whenever we're delivering the cards and getting them out, we are pretty much pushing them out always in like April, June, so kind of like early summer. And not everyone has the room or the wherewithal to like hold on to the Christmas card all the way until or the Easter card or something along that lines. That one would take a while. So
birthday encouragement is nice, evergreen, any
Yes.
part of the year
Yes.
can be used.
mhm.
We also had a question that someone asked. In Europe, we could participate. It is from Laurel's Irony _design. Yes, if you live in Europe, you can send your cards. We don't distribute or send the cards to foster care agencies in Europe at the moment. It is just US. But if you want to make some cards and send it our way, that is fabulous.
Yes. And in the past, we've gotten cards from Australia, from Japan, from all over in Europe too. So yes, feel free to send those cards over. Might be a little expensive on the shipping side of things, but we'll absolutely accept your cards 100% on that.
100%.
Yes. And once we start running out of cards or like needing more places to send it, well, Europe is probably the next best bet.
Yeah. Lovebird Heartworks, who was on one of was on the opening live,
Yes.
said it's the final countdown.
It very much is. It very much is. Only a few days left. And again, we're not going to abandon your cards or send them back or anything like that. Just make sure to try to get them in very, very, very soon. Because, well, the volunteer day is happening.
Yes, and we can't
Quickly.
move that.
Yeah, we
And we
can't-
pretty much rely on that one day to sort all of the cards.
Yes.
So before we'd have people come in person throughout the year, and we still do a little bit of that, but with just as many thousands of cards we get, it's easier to do it all at once versus like having a pile
Yes.
of sorted and a pile of not sorted.
Yes,
So
and a lot of different volunteers are coming in at different times, and sometimes it's difficult to manage everyone that is participating, and for them to, it always takes a little bit for people to kind of like get in the groove of like, oh, okay, I know what I'm doing now.
yeah,
Mhm.
we're very excited. Though we've only worked with UTA once before, so I'm
Yes.
excited to do it again this
Oh
year.
yes, yeah, it's gonna be a good event. It's gonna be a big event.
It's gonna be a big event.
Which is the name of
the big event.
The big event. That is the name of the actual UTA event
Yeah.
with their students that they have there. So it's one big day where all of the, I don't know if all of the students, but I guess it's an opportunity
Mm-hmm.
for a lot of students to get volunteer hours for their clubs, for their associations, for extra credit, etc.
For fun.
And just for fun too. So there's one day, I think a year, right? It's only once a year where they host the big event, and we're very lucky and grateful to be involved with that.
Absolutely. We had a question. It's a Bailey Art question.
A Bailey Art
I'm
question.
happy to answer it.
Yes, of course.
Mita's Creations by Annette, I believe. It says, "Hi, I want to ask a question. I have glue stuck in the middle of the tip. How can I get it out?" Yeah, so the ultrafine tip here is very small. And if you get glue in there, there's a couple options. You can use the cleaning pin and just put it through and then just kind of to loosen up or push down that glue that might have just gotten stuck there if you left it for a while. Or you can take the tip off. I can get mine. There we go. And soak it in warm water, and that will soften up the glue, and you can use the cleaning pin then again to clear that out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those two are the easiest ways to do it.
Yes. This card had a lot of pieces, I thought, but it's really not anything crazy.
No, it's not too bad
So-
at all.
FYI, guys, this card, the Wish Crumb True card, is $5 on the Bailey Art website. That's bailey.art. And that is not for Bailey Art. That $5 is for Cards for Cubs.
Yes.
It gets 100% of sales go to Cards for Cubs.
Yes.
Proceeds. I'm trying to say the
Mhm.
word.
Oh, that's what you're hunting for.
That's what I was going
Yes.
for. I was like,
100% of the proceeds
the word
go
took
to
my
Cards
mind.
for Cubs. Yes.
yes.
And so in this specific card that we're having here, we're using a mixture of your smooth cardstock, your textured cardstock, and it's a little hard to see here. And actually, I think that's
Yeah,
pretty
smooth
much
and
it.
textured.
Smooth and textured, aren't we? Yeah. Yeah. But of course, you can mix in some metallics. And metallics are always fun.
Mm-hmm.
Or any of the other fun holographic glitter stuff, because it is a birthday, so we do want to celebrate.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. And then
Also-
this part too is for, there's a sentiment, right?
Yes, on the craft file itself, there's a sentiment that you can change to have the pin on Cricut write it out.
Mhm.
But I didn't want to do that. I couldn't find my pin. Okay, I'll admit it.
We can handwrite it. It's not that big a deal if
Yes.
we want to. But you
I have
can-
a regular
We
pen
left it
here.
for you so that you can write whatever you would like.
You don't need to have that, but
You
yeah.
don't need to have that
So.
fancy writing mechanism. We glued all these little pieces here together, little banner pieces, all these little doodads. And then, did I finish this? Yes, I did.
Did you already do the cake? Oh, you're
I
about to do
am
the
now-
cake.
I'm about to do the cake, yes. Then we have the cake. And as just a reminder, we have lots of different numbers. This is a number 1 that also looks like a candle.
Like a melting candle.
So I guess you could have, like, if you want to put 3 ones. Not 111, but 3 years old. There we go.
Like tally marks.
Yeah. Not just like candles.
Candles. Ah, I see what you mean. Yes. Alrighty.
Go ahead and stack this sucker up. Let's see here.
Alrighty, I don't know. Let's see. I'm trying to think of some other Cards for Cubs questions that we've had throughout.
In the past?
Just in general, yeah.
Yeah, sure. So a couple of Cards for Cubs questions I would say is like, Well, a lot have to do with the guidelines, I guess I would
I
say.
think so. We've really nailed
Mhm.
those down over the years. We've gotten better.
We got a lot better at it, and as so have all of you gotten a lot better at it too, and help the new people as well. You can always see it in comments and things of like, oh, how do I do this, etc. I mean, I think probably the most common thing still is like envelopes is a very common one, right?
That's true.
So what we ask is, we don't have an envelope here, but let's pretend this is one kind of. That doesn't really work. We don't have one here, but what we say is that we pair them with, so like, you know, that little.
Oh, one that we haven't opened in a while.
So what we say is to pair them with, not put them in, because we have to go through and check all of the cards to make sure that they're appropriate for our kiddos, so they're not getting anything that's, you know, no one's purposefully sending things that are inappropriate, but sometimes there's certain sentiments and things that just kind of rub people the wrong way.
Or
right?
sometimes people put the contact information on the card.
Or
Not on,
sometimes
just
it
like,
says-
again, like a stamp
Yeah,
where
like
it
a
has
stamp, yeah, they
their,
forget.
you know, websites or things like that. We're like,
Yes.
no.
Yeah. So this is what we mean. Of course, I picked the pink one on the pink shirt. But this is what we mean in terms of paired with envelopes. I mean, it's just like this. Makes it easy for our crew and our volunteers to look inside real quick and make sure everything's appropriate. And that's it. If you put it inside, it just takes more time. And, you know, it's perfectly fine when it's one or two. But then when you have,
Over 48,000.
it gets a little bit much.
I love that.
So our goal is to do it as efficiently as possible, and most of them in a single day.
Yes. That is a popular one. Very good question.
Yes, thank you. All right, let's see here. Any other questions that we typically get? Feel free to ask in the comments below.
I think people often have questions about the bundling of tin and what that looks like.
Mhm.
So like you said, it's the same with the envelope and the card and stuff, but when we say bundles of tin, people ask like what does that mean? And because they're putting it in the box, and so like, well, I put tin, but then the other tin smush into it. So usually people tie it with like a string. If you want to put like a rubber band, that's okay too. Just make sure it's not biting into your cards and like squeezing the sides where it bends them, because you put a lot of effort in that. We don't want
Yes.
to mess those up.
Yes, we don't want to mess it up.
That's a good one. People use like the paper, just kind of wrap it a slim piece of paper around the cards and then
Tape it
do a little glue
or glue it.
tape. Yes.
Mhm.
So easy.
Yep, there's a few different ways that you can do it. We just want to make sure that all of those cards we know and can grab them as packs of 10. Because typically I guess another question that we usually get is, can you make the same card? Yeah, you can make the same card 10 times, right? That's actually easier for a lot of volunteers too.
Yes.
Because the chances of someone getting the exact same card are extremely, extremely low. Yes, they'll probably get bundled together. Like the foster care agencies themselves will probably get bundles, but they have more than one kid, right? So they've got a lot of different people that they can send out to. And it's sometimes easier for them to like, okay, well, I know this type of card or whatever. Okay, we've got, let me start writing a few different packs of them, right?
Right.
So there's several ways that you can do that part of it, but just making sure that they're all kind of together.
Another question we get is, how can people support Cards for Cubs after the card drive is over? Because
Yes.
the card drive is only the month of March, so it
Yes.
is like 1 out of 12 months of the year.
Yes, indeed.
So if you were wondering how you can support Cards for Cubs, we also accept monetary donations. That is a big part, because those cards, thousands of them, believe it or not, cost a lot to ship.
Yes.
All over the country. 'Cause-
As they know.
yes, and foster agencies don't pay to get these cards. They are a further donation from Cards for Cubs. So we're not asking for foster agencies to pay for the shipping, for anything. They just ask for them and we give them.
Yes,
Easy
indeed.
peasy.
And so yes, if you have the ability to, or let's say that you don't know how to make cards or can't make cards, we have a couple different ways that you can sponsor us on our website, cardsforcubs.org. You can sponsor a case, which is how we typically send them out, which is about 150 cards in one case that go out to a single foster care agency. We also have a monthly donation sign up they can do, and a one-time donation that you can do as well. And I forgot about the sponsor case part of it. If you sponsor a certain amount of cases, there's also some merch for you as well as a small thing.
So it's by $20. So one case of sponsoring takes $20 to sponsor. The first one, the first 20 is stickers. If you donate the 2 case to make send out 2 cases. Oh,
Yes.
my goodness. So that's
Two
$40.
cases.
I believe
Yes.
it's stickers. Then
Stickers.
it is
Notebook.
notebook.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's mug,
And it's mug.
tote, and then
Tote.
t-shirt.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So,
Just a small thank you. And of course, if you don't want any of the merch, you don't have to do the merch.
that's also
Just
true.
there's another little spot right underneath that says no merch.
Yeah, so we just want to
Yeah,
donate.
donate a certain amount of cases.
Not
from
everyone
there,
wants more things.
yes. Exactly. Yes. Exactly. But it's just another small way of saying thank you for participating and helping further the Cards for Cubs journey. Our goal this year is 450 sponsor cases. I mean, that doesn't include quite all just sponsor a case, but we're trying to sponsor 450 cases.
Yes.
Yes, I said that right. So that is the ultimate goal. We send out about 450 cases. And it also depends on, that number will fluctuate based on the number of cards that we get. So it might end up being a little bit more on sometimes and might be a little bit less, just depending on where we land with our final card counts.
Right.
And it also depends too on the amount of cards that each foster care agency wants or needs too.
Yes. If you know someone who works at a foster agency, tell them about Cards for Cubs. Remember, tell them how it's free.
Yes.
They don't have to do anything.
Yes. So if they are related or associated with kids in our foster care, they can go to our website, cardsforcubs.org, click on the Foster Care Agency tab, and that will give you a little form for you to fill out, and we just do our verifications to make sure that you're a nonprofit and work with kids in foster care. And after that point, all you have to do, once you're all approved, is just put in an order that's for free, and we'll ship it to you for free.
Yay!
Yeah. That's all it is.
And that's how Cards for Cubs works.
And that, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Not much more to it than that.
I think we keep it pretty simple.
We try to. I mean, we've probably gotten a lot more simple over the years.
Yes, we weren't always so
We weren't-
easygoing.
We weren't so simple in the past. Yes. It's kind of crazy.
It's done great. It's grown so much, and we appreciate you guys for always, spreading the message and telling your friends and families about them, about Cards for Cubs, because it is such an important and beautiful mission, and it needs people.
Yes, it needs people in order to operate from every single level, from the card makers to the volunteers to the sponsors to the foster care agencies. We need all of us combined in order to make Cards for Cubs successful.
Exactly.
Alrighty, so we're kind of finishing up our stuff here and putting on all of our little doodads.
Mm-hmm.
And again, this piece here, this long piece here, is where you can put your little sentiment, right? You can handwrite it or use a Cricut. Again, the file itself is called
Wish Crumb True Card.
Wish Crumb True Card on the website barely.art, which the proceeds of the card of $5 goes to fund Cards for Cubs.
Yes, but don't forget you can just donate straight to Cards for Cubs on cardsforcubs.org.
Yes.
And also, if you're a Bailey Art fan, you're checking out on the Bailey Art website, there's a little section when you're on checkout called tips. And it's not for us. I'm not getting a little extra tip. It goes to Cards for Cubs. So we've got multiple avenues. We're trying all the time to make sure people have the ability to donate when they want to, because we need the help.
Yes.
And we're not afraid to admit it. Cards for Cubs is a nonprofit, so
100%
we work with
nonprofit.
donations,
Yes.
volunteers.
And all the money goes to either shipping the cards or just operating the website.
Yes, like
That's pretty
email,
much it.
sending out emails cost as well,
That's it.
and keeping the website up,
Yeah.
and owned by Cards for Cubs
Yeah.
cost. So little things here and there, but mostly it is sending out the thousands and thousands of beautiful, wonderful
Mhm.
handmade cards you guys
Yeah.
send us.
Yeah, fun fact is that our percentages for that are really great. That like almost all of our money goes to our program.
Yeah.
Because I think for nonprofits in general, I think it only has to be about 10% in order for you to stay a nonprofit. So 10% of all proceeds that are donated, 90% of that can go to operational costs.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's a big number.
Pretty sure our percentages switched.
Yeah, exactly. It's 100% switched on that side of it.
Yeah.
Like our operational cost is running the website,
Mhm.
and that's it.
it.
That's it.
Here's the lovely, beautiful Wish Crumb True card. Look how pretty. It looks really nice. It's such a good card. So I'm going to leave it blank on the inside. You can stamp or write a little sentiment here. And this is it. Isn't she pretty?
Mhm.
I love it.
And in not too long a time, especially with the pre-Cricut help,
Yes.
it's a very quick card that looks really, really good, especially if you're not a traditional card maker or card. I mean, honestly, it's more of an art, I think, at this point. We tend to take the Cricut way out of things. So we like to layer instead of doing stamps and dies.
We
But
are layered
either way, we have beautiful cards that are handmade by all of you, and we're very, very thankful and appreciative.
Yes, I know. Can't believe it's already over. I felt like the card
March
drive
went
has gone by faster before, but this year it just kind of happened like in the
Yeah.
background
Yeah, yeah.
almost.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's so weird.
Yeah,
But
it is.
again, the card drive ends on Monday, March
Mhm.
31st. What does that mean? Can you send your cards? Yes. Please send your cards. Send them anyway.
Yes.
But we are, after that, it's time to stop and just start making your cards and saving them for next
Yeah,
year's
start
card
saving
drive.
for next year, especially because we'll be moving in a little bit too. So
Yes.
keep them.
Yeah.
Like if you're thinking like, oh yeah, we'll send them towards the end of April, that's way too late. We're
Do that.
don't-
Well, our
yeah.
things have happened by then. We're changing stuff around.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
anyway, then also if you have donated cards and you're wondering if we've received them yet, hold on again to the
Mhm.
end of April, and we will be sending an email out after our big volunteer event. And once all the cards we've gone through everything, you'll get an email. So just be a little patient with us. We're working on it. We're getting
We're
there.
getting there.
And as well, remember our pledge number. Our goal is always 100,000 cards, and we've got 91.6 thousand
We're
pledged.
really close.
So that's really awesome,
Really,
and that's
really
because
close.
of all of you.
Yes.
So thank you, everyone. Let's see. We can go through the card guidelines one more time because if
Yes.
you're wondering before you
The
send out
very,
your
very
cards, I mean bundles of 10, a blank or short sentiment on the inside, birthday or encouragement
Mhm.
cards paired with an envelope,
Mm-hmm.
and of course handmade.
Yep.
And you can use your Cricut, that counts as
Yeah,
handmade.
yeah, exactly. Yes. Made by some hands,
Yeah.
but not store bought. There we
Yeah,
go.
not store bought.
Not store-bought cards.
ta-da. Again, this card is the Wish Crumb True Cake. You can find it on barely.art. It is $5, and all proceeds go to Cards for Cubs.
Mm-hmm.
Plenty of ways to donate. If you want to learn more, go to cardsforcubs.org, and you will figure all the information you want. You want to learn about our story,
Yep.
want to learn other ways to donate, you want to volunteer if you're in the area sometime,
Mhm.
check it out. You can always, of course, contact our customer service because we'll always be happy to answer you guys.
Absolutely.
All right, I think that's it. That was
That's
it felt
everything.
really fast, but
That was
again,
very
this is
fast.
the end of Cards for Cubs for
Mhm.
this year.
Yes.
Just a card drive. We'll be back again next year. So if you have questions, you want to be making cards throughout the year, go for it. We will answer them anytime, and we will see you guys very soon. So thank you so much for participating. I don't know how to thank them for all these cards. This is a really awesome. They did really great.
They did really
This is
good.
amazing.
This year, I mean, every year it seems like it's getting better and better and better. Not just like the amount of cards, but like the quantity of cards too.
Yeah.
Yeah, or sorry, I said that
I mean,
wrong.
quality.
Yeah, not just the quality, the quality. The quality of cards has gotten a lot better too. And that's the thing, it's like we want them handmade because we want to show that there's another level of specialness for those kiddos.
Yeah, so appreciate you guys. So we will see you next time. It'll be Barely Art
Mhm.
back on
Yes.
Cards for Cubs Drive. Card Drive is over, so we'll be getting back to our regularly scheduled crafts of who knows, and cake toppers, banners. The world
Or
is our
something
oyster.
new.
We can do it. Or something new. I don't know. But we'll see you guys then. Thank you so much for joining us again, and thank you for making Cards for Cubs happen. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.